I just know, like, if I do that, I cannot put my mic near my face. I don't even like my own feet near my own face. I don't like feet, period. So I probably will never do it at all whatsoever.
And with that, welcome to Idiots with Opinions.
Hell yeah.
I'm your host, Info, followed by your other host, Flatsack.
How is everybody? How is y'all? I don't care.
Yeah, so it's been a hot minute since we've done a podcast. When was the last one? What was it like?
I think it was a year ago. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna lie.
yeah, it's been a while. I'm gonna say that we're going to try to be consistent with it, but knowing our track record, we'll fucking see.
I mean, I don't really think that we'll be able to be consistent, mainly because of, like, we got other things in life to take care of besides, like, this sometimes. So
Yeah,
it's a whole lot more. It's a whole lot more easier to post, like, a Let's Play video than a podcast sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. Like, it's not just one of those things. Like I work, Flatsack works. We have jobs. We can't just focus in on just creating content from 50 different things. Like, so let's start off simple. Let's talk about let's talk about where we've been in between this podcast and the last podcast.
I think the last podcast, at the last episode, you had which this is a spoiler, a different job. Do you want to
True.
explain to the people why you have a different job now? Because I think you were working at one.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I did security. I was working security, and I was
yeah, that's
working.
that's whenever you that's whenever we posted this. Whenever you was working at security.
Yeah, and I was working heavily, like 12 hours a night. I was also working night shifts, so I was working from like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Had like no energy. I was working 6 days a week. I was just getting a ton of overtime and making a lot of money, a lot more money than a security guard should make. Um, and I just eventually got to the point where I was pulling my weight and then like everybody else's weight, and then eventually me and the guy that was in charge of everything over the security company, like we the two of us were very familiar with each other. We ended up having a conversation, and I guess he could tell that I was like getting to that point where I was done. And yeah, we didn't see eye to eye on one thing. I became an advocate for the rights of the other security officers, because in truth they were getting treated unfairly. It was not a good time or a good place to work at.
Yeah.
People were getting screwed over constantly, very unfair treatment, and I got promoted, so I now had like more of a voice, and I was using it for the betterment of the company because I liked working for that company. I really did. And like one of the biggest downsides to working at that company was the turnover. People did not want to work there. They would work for like a month, maybe two, and then they would quit and go to another job, even if that job paid less. Um, and the main reason why was because of how like much of a toxic work environment it was. So I was actively trying to make it less of a toxic work environment. Like I was actually going out and speaking to the employees, like like what no other supervisor had ever done, getting their actual opinions and getting feedback from them. And I was just simply taking that feedback and giving it to the superiors, like, hey, these are some of the issues that people are having. And it wasn't just like a handful of people. It was I think I by the whenever I finally had the conversation with him about the issues that people had, I had feedback from over 63 employees.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And the thing is like even if nothing got done, they were still glad to finally be heard. That was the worst part about it. Is like they didn't even care if nothing got done. They were just glad that they could finally have somebody that they could rant to about how pissed off they were. But anyway,
I
so
don't.
I took that information to him, and he was not happy because he's one of those bosses that sits in his office all day that only wants to hear the good things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes no sense. I hate it whenever like people only want to hear the good things. Like, I'll be honest, I'm one of those people. It's like I want to hear the bad shit before I hear the good stuff.
Well, I mean,
Cause
like I said, one of the biggest issues was people quitting all the time, and I remember him specifically getting frustrated over people quitting and not being able to keep anybody on shift all the time. And like I literally brought him a piece of paper that was literally lined out like, here are the reasons why people are quitting. And he was just like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. Like he literally, he was so like he didn't. I don't even know if he looked at the paper. If I'm being completely honest with you.
he's not boss material.
No. I mean, he was genuinely. He's a pathetic human being. That's all I can say about him. But it was enough to where, like me doing that, in a way, if I guess he thought that it was like me going behind his back in a way, from his point of view, where he was like, "You're supposed to be on my side. We're supposed to be making things better, but you're going over here and getting, all this information from people and letting them like openly talk about the things that they don't like. You're making this a hostile work environment." And I'm like, it's already been that way. Like I've worked here for 3 years. It's been a hostile work environment since I started. Nothing has changed in 3 years. The only thing that has changed are the people that I work with.
Yeah, because they all left, and then you got new ones that came.
And everybody had the exact same problems. As somebody that before I became a supervisor, like I dealt with the exact same problems that they were dealing with. And I'm like, I've had this conversation with you. Like people are fed up and they're tired, and that's why you can't keep anybody. That's why we're so short staffed right now. And because of him feeling like I went behind his back or whatever, he ended up giving me. I got a write up. I remember it was the last day that I worked there. It was a Saturday. I was in charge of like 12 people or something. Like nobody was working. And he came in unannounced, pulled me into a room with the captain, and gave me a write up slip for insubordination.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I was like, what? Like, can you explain this to me? Because I don't really think I need to. Like, do you not know the definition of insubordination? And I was like, fair enough. Okay, cool. And he was like, are you going to sign it? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to sign it. Why would I sign that? He was like, well, I'll tell you what, I'll leave this here, and you got till the end of your shift to sign it. If it's not on my desk by the time you leave here, then don't come back because you will be terminated immediately. And he was like,
Will you sign this so that way we can wrongfully write you up?
well, basically what it was, the moment you get a write-up, that's like the legal way of being like, if you look the wrong way, if you say the wrong thing, if you do anything out of line that we're not agreeing to, we can fire you without like probable cause or anything.
Yeah, you might as well just quit then.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a write-up is basically the equivalent of like, we now have you by the balls. If you don't do exactly what I say, you're fired. So I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And then I quit. I waited until he got in his car and drove away. And I gave him enough time to get far, because I know where he lives. Like, he lived a solid like 45 minutes away. And I waited for long enough for him to get back into his driveway for me to then send out a mass email to every single employee, as well as all of his bosses, where I basically just came clean with all of the issues that were going on. I brought up past employees that had quit or had been fired for like some of the dumbest reasons that were really good at like really solid employees. Like I name dropped a lot of people. Enough to where like the people that had been there as long as I had been there, like their jaws hit the floor when they read it. Like I was getting text messages a week after I quit about that email. Apparently the very next day after I quit, which was a Monday. No, the day after that Sunday. It was a Monday.
Yeah.
The training captain had to come in for every single shift. And basically, like the way that it was described to me was he came in and like basically went up to each employee when they first got there and was like, listen, like I'm speaking on behalf of, the boss and, the company. Like you are appreciated. Like we appreciate everything that you're doing for like he had to go in and do damage control basically because the email that I sent out was like such a impactful email, I guess. um,
God,
and
why?
yeah, it was a lot. And then I took like a month-long hiatus where I just didn't work at all, and I started working at another company. And then like I think a few months into the working there, I sent that training captain. I sent him an email, or I sent him a message on LinkedIn, and I was like, "Hey, could you do me a favor and write me a?" It was I was wanting like him to write me like a recommendation letter. Just to there was no reason for it. I didn't need it. I was just kind of curious if he was going to write me a recommendation letter, what he would say. And his response to me was, um, actually, hold on, I can read it to you. I sent him a message, and like I said, there was nothing like I needed on this. But I said, hey, I had a question for you. He said, what's up? I said, I was wondering if you'd be willing to write me a letter of recommendation. Like this explains how it's like complete bullshit. I said, so I could put it on my profile. I'm mainly using it for business to business connections, and I would love an advantage. Thought no one better than you to speak the truth about me, because I was really curious what he would say. And he said, sorry, man, you left us high and dry. I can definitely understand your passion for the site, as many of us share it, but I don't understand why you wouldn't seek to understand the deeper meaning into why things are the way they are. I felt like my advice wasn't understood when I offered it, and instead of helping us to get where we needed to be, it seemed like you left us necessary for a strike on our team's morale. Uh, God, wow, people cannot text. It's so annoying. Nobody knows how to text anymore. Just use commas, because there are many things we did and do need to work on. But that doesn't mean you don't get any accountability in taking steps to get there. My recommendation is to identify what you can be responsible for and what you can hold your employees responsible for. And I said, I kind of find it a little upsetting that you're willing to put a job between a friendship, but each to their own. Have a good one. And he said, I wish you had included that specifically in your email. I do see this as a business and job related app. So although I do consider you a friend, I don't appreciate the actions at the end of your tenure. I said, well, I and many others felt like my actions were justified due to my tenure that I had with the company. I was the most reliable officer that company had and probably will have, and they treated me like I was nothing in the end. No one deserved that, whether or not you appreciated my actions. You cannot deny they weren't justified. He never responded.
Yeah, that's where me and you are like polar opposites. Like, whenever I worked security at the hospital that me and you worked at, and whenever you moved, that whole place went to shit. I'm not lying. Like, the whole place just started falling apart. Everyone was quitting. New people came in, and those new people were doing 10 times worse than what everybody else was. I had to fill in for so many people, which it didn't bother me because it was like extra money. I don't care. I'll fill in for anybody. I filled in for so many people. I even filled in for someone for on a spot that I didn't even know how to do, and I had to sit in like HQ
Mm-hmm.
where dispatch was. I didn't know how to do dispatch. All we did was sit in there, eat pizza, and talk about sports and life. That's all we did. We didn't dispatch any damn thing. We didn't even look at the cameras. Somebody could have got murdered in the parking lot and we wouldn't even notice because we've been eating pizza and talking about basketball. And whenever I got upset, see, when you got upset, you made an email and everything. You went on about all this other stuff. Me, I just made someone fill in for me, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm coming that way, and then not show up. And that's why I'm pretty sure you told me you got a phone call or a text from someone, and they were like, hey, do you know where your friend is? And you said,
Terry, yeah,
yeah. What'd he say?
yeah. Terry, he messaged me and was like, "Hey, do you know where Ethan is? Like, is he okay? We've been trying to get a hold of him. We can't get him on the phone."
I was asleep, and I woke up, and because I just got done doing like, I got done covering for someone because I was supposed to get up. I was there. I showed up at work at like 4 in the morning, and I was supposed to get off at 8, but I filled in for someone for a few extra hours and ended up leaving at 12:30, and I got home and I was so dead. I was like, oh my god, I can't even keep my eyes open. As soon as I sat on the chair, I started falling asleep. So I just walked in my room, went to bed, and they were calling me, and it woke me up, and I just turned off my phone and then put my phone away. So I woke up, and you were like texting and calling me, asking me what in the world I was doing, and I was like, okay, I'll tell them. I said, hey, I'll be there in a few minutes. Not a few minutes, but I'll be there in a about like 30 or 40 minutes. He said, all right. I didn't go at all. I actually went and played ball. Like, I did not want to go. I was so pissed because I filled in for everyone and I asked for a raise. And he said, I can give you a quarter. A quarter, like 25 cents. I was so mad because I was sitting in rooms with people that had COVID. I'd get COVID on my clothes and then come visit my grandparents and stuff. And mom got sick, dad got sick, I got sick. Thank God Papa and Mama didn't get sick. And I told him, I said, hey, I'd like to know if I can have a raise. I've covered for so many people here. I've averaged more hours than everyone else here. Uh, I'm the first option y'all call whenever somebody needs to come in. I want to know if I can have a raise, like just $1 or $1.25 raise. I'd be fine with that, cause then I'd be making like $10 an hour. He went, nah, I'll give you a quarter. Like, yeah, I want a fucking quarter for working like past the hour that I was supposed to be working. I work 8-hour shifts and they end up turning into like 12-hour shifts. And then I go to bed and I get to sleep for like maybe 2 hours and then have to come back in. Yeah, and I don't get to have like a $2 raise. That's crazy. So I got mad as hell, and they were like, "Hey, we need somebody." And this was after like my surgery and stuff. They said, "Hey, we need somebody to come in." And I was like, "All right, I'll be there. I got to do a couple of things first." They said, "How long is it going to take?" I was like, "Just a couple of hours. Just get somebody to cover there, and then I'll come finish the job." They said, "All right." I did not show up that whole damn day. They were calling me, texting me, trying to find me. They had one of our old friends text me, and he was like, "Hey, where you at? Hey, you there? You all right? What's wrong? Are you coming? Hello?" I was like, I ain't answering my phone at all. Mom was like, "Are you gonna answer?" I was like, "Nah." She said, "Why?" I said, "Cause I asked for a raise, and the guy was only willing to give me a quarter for busting my ass." She said, "That's crazy, cause you work more than everybody down there, from what I hear." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not going in today. I'm probably gonna quit." I hated it there. I had more fun working at a gas station than I did a security job. It was terrible. I hated it. Ever since you left, that place went to shit.
It seems like that's just the case. Like every place that I've ever worked at, it feels like after I quit, I just get text messages about like the horror stories that happens after I leave.
That's about how it was for me whenever I left the gas station. A lot of people said it went to garbage because a woman that's been working for the company for so many years ended up quitting. They ended up hiring a drug addict, and he got arrested. So he got fired. Somebody else got fired for stealing. Somebody quit on them. They were down to like 3 people working. They went from having 8 to 3. They were about to shut down after I quit. I started laughing my ass off. They
Well,
were like, "You don't feel bad?" And I was like, "No, it's funny."
well, I mean, so that's where we were. What have you been doing now?
I've been helping my papaw out because he just recently had surgery. So I've been hanging out with him and doing a bunch of stuff on the farm. And when I'm not doing that, I'm taking care of my house that I got, hanging out with my brother. Um, Sometimes going out to eat with family and stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing really crazy. I mean,
For
I don't
yeah,
even really do nothing.
for those of you that don't know, Flatsack is literally a farmer.
Yeah, I'm a cool guy. I'm a cowboy. Yeehaw, brother. We recently got a new baby cow. Didn't even know. Didn't even know. We were me and my brother. We went down there to help mom get a swing on a porch, and Papa was like, "Hey, y'all care to drive out there and see if that cow had a baby or not?" We were like, "Yeah, sure." We drove over there, and look, cow had a baby, and we saw that cow there with that baby like a few hours ago when we were there, and I was like, "I wonder what they're doing over there. Why ain't they with the other cows eating hay?" Go over there and realize, oh, it's new. I was so confused. I did not understand. But we got special cows. We don't have to like put a glove on that goes all the way up to our elbow and pull that cow out. Those cows just like plop. There it is. It's there. I haven't really been up to really anything crazy because, well, there ain't nothing down here for me to do besides like fish or cook out or nothing. So you live in a city, so you have a whole lot more stuff that goes on.
See, that's the thing. Like, I do live in a city, but like I genuinely have done nothing. Like, it's crazy to me. Like when we lived in a small town where there was like nothing to do, we always were able to find something to do. But now,
Oh my
being in a
god.
place where there's like an endless supply of activities and
Yeah.
things to do, it's just like it's not the same. Like it's like living like if how do I explain this? It's like dopamine on easy mode.
Like it baffles me. You live in a city. There's a lot more stuff to do, and you're basically saying the last time you had fun doing anything was back at home,
Yeah.
and that place was basically a ghost town.
Which I mean, it also kind of just goes into the line of like I just don't really like any of the people that are around here. Like
Yeah.
I've got some friends that I've made over the past few years, but I mean like and I mean I've hung out with them too. Like we go out, we eat. You know, we've went to a couple of bars here and there. Like we go to Jake's every now and then, get some cigars, or like we'll go to Cracker Barrel, get some nice food,
God, I love Cracker
some
Barrel.
good eating. I went to Malone's for the first time like a couple of weeks ago,
What
which
is
is
that?
one of the most expensive steakhouses in the state that we live in.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Is it good?
yeah. No, I mean yeah, it was good.
Is their steaks better than mine?
It wasn't worth $50.
Definitely not better than mine. Mine was free.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I mean, but really, when you go to those places, you're going for the experience. Like
That's
the food is good. Don't get me
one of
wrong.
those.
It's just it's you're there for the experience of being like, yeah, I went out and ate Malone's last night. Like, oh, cool.
It's one of those.
Yeah, but it's just it's not really like my thing. And like, there's plenty of bars, but I like going to Jake's just because Jake's is fucking. I mean, I've shown you Jake's. It's
Mm-hmm.
one of the chillest places ever. You just show up, smoke a cigar, and drink a glass of whiskey. Like,
Sounds nice.
yeah, it's chill as fuck. It's not chill as fuck on a Friday when all the frat boys get out of like class and shit. That's when it fucking sucks because you just get a bunch of retards running around chasing
I
pussy.
hate I hate frat boys. I
Uh,
met a frat boy actually down here. He where I live, it's redneck. Like every day when it's hot outside, like it's nice and cool and stuff, you'll either hear boats, four wheelers, dirt bikes, side by sides, or country music and people drinking. Like that. I'm not joking. Like I live in the stereotypical like redneck area. Even in town, basically, I call it town, and it's redneck as hell. And this frat boy, I saw him at Walmart, and he was going, God, dude, yeah, dude, yeah, dude. I was like, God, he don't belong here. He does not belong. He looked like someone else from like Florida, and that's crazy because Florida people can fit in just anywhere except for here apparently.
See, that's the weird thing with me though. Like you've known me a while. I don't fit in like back home and like in those country areas, and I don't fit in the city. Where the fuck do I fit in at?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like there's
New York. I can see you being a New Yorker.
I can't. I can
I
see
could
me. I can see me being like the suburbs of New York.
I could see you being a Yankee.
I mean,
Most definitely.
I'm a Yankee fan, but like,
I
I
am
just
too.
I can't see me being. No, I probably could. I probably could see myself being in the city.
Like you wear big coats. You'd rather wear a coat. You wear Chelsea boots.
I do.
That's definitely like that place is nothing but like big coats and Chelsea boots.
True.
That's what it is. Smoke a cigar and be like, I hate you. And they'd be like, get the fuck out of here. And you're like, get the fuck out of here.
I probably. Yeah, I could probably survive New York.
Yeah, until you gotta buy a pack of cigarettes for like $30 or some shit like that.
I'd rather die.
Yeah, can't even buy a vape because it's like almost $100.
But I mean, like, it's really weird for me because like I don't really fit in with like. Which, granted, where I live at, it's the city, but it's not like a city. Like I don't even think it pops up like if you just type in like cities in the U.S. I don't even think it pops up on that map. It's a city to us because of where we're
Yeah,
from, but it's not like the city. Like it's not a city. Like there's probably like what 7, 8 skyscrapers here. Every other building is like anywhere between 5 stories and less. Whereas
we don't
like
have.
actual cities, there's multiple skyscrapers. Like
Yeah, over here, like the biggest building is a grocery store.
yeah,
I'm not joking.
but I mean
It's
that's the thing is like I just like and I don't fit in the suburbs. I know I don't because my dad's living in the suburbs, and I hate my dad. So like I can tell you like just based off his attitude, I can just tell you right now I don't fit in with it. And my dad's one of those people that like whoever he's around, he just adopts their personality, and I hate his fucking personality.
that's such a 13-year-old quote. I hate my dad and I hate his personality.
Well, it still stands.
I do miss the old times though. I miss back home sometimes. Like a few days ago, I thought about it. I miss it. I miss the fact that like whenever I did go out, I was able to do at least a little bit of something. You know,
Yeah.
down here, like I don't know a single person because I hate everyone. And I don't hate them because they're redneck. I mean, I'm a little redneck. I ain't gonna lie, but like I just don't like them. Like they're annoying. The people here get on my damn nerves because they're weird or just too fucking extra. So I don't get to pick and choose like a normal person. In my eyes, a normal person is like you or somebody else in my friend group. There's none of that here.
Yeah.
Not a single person here. It's either I either have to hang out with a drama queen or hang up with someone that wants to go shoot somebody's car. I don't get to pick a normal person. So I hate everyone here. But it is fun.
And
Uh,
see, that's the thing is like all of the friends that I have here are also normal people. Like they're like fucking drywall. No offense to them, but like they come as they are. Like there's nothing like there's nothing special about them. Like they don't lean a certain way like too heavy. They're they're just who they are. And then I have like you, which is why I talk to you so much because you are very fucking different. Like you're just retarded.
oh,
I don't have a lot of
never mind.
retarded friends. Like you're the only retarded person I
Damn, I said hell yeah for no reason.
know.
Damn it.
But
No.
anyway, so we talked about where we've been and what we've been doing. Uh, And I mean, we've pretty much kind of touched on like why we haven't done a podcast in a minute. It's because we've had to do so much shit in the past year.
We've been
Um,
busy. We've
yeah,
been fucking busy. We
and
have lives, you know.
yeah, but I mean, one of the main reasons we've been busy and like we've kind of put the podcast on the back burner is because like of all the plans that we have for the future.
Yeah.
Like for those of you that don't know, which you probably do, um, I've been uploading on YouTube pretty much very consistently for the past like 3 months or 4 months or whatever. Just a lot of videos, mostly gaming. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're all gaming.
Yeah, they're all
Um,
game.
yeah,
Which is great. It's fun.
yeah, and it's just one of those things. I think one of the main things I like about it is just the editing process. Like editing is a bitch, but it's getting to that point where like every single video that I've been putting out, the edits are getting 10 times better. Um, so
Can
I've been
agree with that. You have your editing skills back then compared to now. It's actually gotten better. Granted that you still have to improve. I'm not saying like you're garbage. I'm saying like there's always room for improvement because you ain't even hit your like peak of editing yet.
yeah, but I mean like it's like that's why I like it though is because I'm every single video is like I'm like I'm gonna try something new this time. Like it's I'm like you said I'm just constantly getting better at it. Um, and then now we're doing the podcast again. I don't know how consistent we're gonna be with it, but I really do want to make it like a weekly thing if possible.
I'd say I talked about I talked about it with you earlier because we were talking about the podcast. Not earlier today, but like a few days ago. Um, I said the best way that we can do it is like make a podcast and then take a really long break because it's honestly a little bit more of a struggle to do a podcast than it is to play a game and then say some stupid stuff. Like it I don't know what it is. Like whenever I play a game with you and then we record it, I'm fine for like a few more hours. But after we recorded a podcast, the first time we ever did, I was drained. Like I felt like my brain was just empty of everything that I was wanting to do today. Cause whenever Doug wants to talk to me, I don't feel like talking at all. I feel like laying down and just sleeping. Podcast is a little bit more harder than what people think because you have to think of so many ideas. So like, I think we should like take a few weeks off from like podcasts and then do let's plays. I mean, it won't be long. I'll be doing my own channel anyways.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that.
Uh, I'm I'm still thinking about how I should start it off. A lot of people that I've talked to about me doing my channel, including you, have all said, "Do a rage game," all because they enjoy my anger. I don't understand what's so great about me being fucking angry, but y'all like it, and that's what pisses me off. I hate it. I
I,
hate being angry.
I mean, it's simply just one word, content. Like you are like even back when I was doing the vlogs and stuff, like that's the reason why I hung out with you the most is because you are literally just content in its own way. And if somebody can get you pissed off, it's just so funny.
Even in school, man. Even in school when we had class, I feel like I was pretty cool. I mean, a lot of people thought different, but I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, shit. I about made us not be able to go to class. We about had a free day. How am I not cool?
Well,
Oh man.
that's the thing though
But
is like you're just a content machine. Like that's the only thing to put it. And like I've said it for so many years that if you started a YouTube channel, like you do good. You would do
I
good.
mean, I've already said that I'm going to do it, which I am. It's going to take me a little bit of time for me to like prepare myself and get everything situated because I have personal life to take care of before I want to take care of like what I want. And I'm going to start out with a rage game, I guess. Um, I haven't decided on what game. Some people told me play only up, but like I feel like that's dead. And not only that, I've watched some videos on it and it looks boring as hell. I thought about doing Pogo Stuck mainly because uh, it's still a popular game, and I also want to like eventually jump into some RPs and do some competitive gaming like Siege, where reactions and stuff like that. Just have like a whole YouTube channel full of just random stuff. I'm not going to be one category. I'm going to be multiple. That's what I've thought about for my channel. I thought about being multiple categories, like have a reaction, horror, rage, competitive, memes, um, reviews, review channel, like food review, just whatever. Like I want my channel to be like just one big mess of just random stuff.
Variety.
Yeah, because I feel like in the longevity that would be so much better on myself.
And you see,
Because of
I
it,
the thing is I think that it would work out in your favor too because of like I mean I haven't streamed in a while obviously, but I think that whenever I did stream and you would come onto the stream and we would like play a game and stuff together, like you've kind of gotten to that point where you've learned where the line is and not to cross it.
always been good at that,
Yeah.
even in real life.
Have you though?
Yeah,
Uh huh.
I've never had anyone threaten my life.
I'm not talking about threatening your life. I'm talking about just not crossing that line of like, yeah, you're about to get banned.
I've never.
You're literally banned on multiple social media platforms right now.
Dude, oh my god, I gotta talk about that. Um, my Instagram account got deleted.
Of course it did.
I'm not joking.
Wait, like the newer one where you were talking back and forth with Mike Malek?
No,
Okay.
that's a different one. The Flatsack one.
It got deleted?
Yeah,
Why?
I have no idea. I guess because they banned me for I want y'all to listen to this. 180 days. They banned me for 180 days, and I'm not gonna say why, but I got banned. And I was like, you know what? I want to see if I'm able to get back on it. I went to check and see if I could get back on it. It's gone. It's just gone. It don't exist anymore. And I was like, wow, that's fucking wild. Oh well. I guess I just can't be happy with Instagram. I have to stick with my old one. And um yeah, like I went on there today. I forgot to tell you this today. I went to look and see if I could get back on Instagram, and it's just gone. They deleted it. They deleted my account. It's just like Snap, dude. Snap deleted my account a long time ago, and I couldn't even figure out why. I didn't even post anything crazy or controversial. You had me on Snap. I didn't post nothing
I
crazy.
think it was the direct messages that got you.
What do you mean?
Don't do that.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
What do you mean? I didn't do nothing.
Uh huh.
I didn't do. I didn't do nothing.
Uh huh.
What'd I do?
Nothing.
I made my first comment on Twitter.
You still use Twitter?
Yeah. Even though it's X, but I'm still gonna call it Twitter.
I thought you would have deleted that by now.
No, I get on there every now and then to see what's going on in the world. That's how I find out about UFC and stuff.
Mm.
Somebody posted something. I can't remember what they said, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I commented, who cares? And I didn't even know what it was. I just commented, who cares? And I got off. And it went on about my life. But, yeah. That's what I want to do for my YouTube channel, though. Just like be a mixture of everything. Because I feel like that would be better for me. Because I don't want to sit there and be like most YouTubers. Because most YouTubers will like focus on like one thing. And then eventually, like whenever that one thing gets boring and redundant, nobody watches them. They
Yeah.
ended up like they end up like losing views instead of gaining views. That's why you got like, most of these YouTubers that'll just like play like random games, and then they'll also do reactions, and they'll also do reviews, uh, just random stuff. That's what I want to do. I feel like if I did that, I'd be set. I'd have a really good channel, but it's just going to take some time. But
Well,
I am going to do it this year.
well, speaking of YouTube, I forgot to bring this up to you. I was going to talk to you about it, but it just like as we were talking about all this stuff and like editing and YouTube and stuff, I just remembered. So I can't remember if it was day before yesterday. It was whenever I was editing that video that you didn't want me to upload. Um, I was going through like when I was doing the editing, there was like a part where I had done the cut. I ended up cutting it out of the video, but it was enough to where like I kind of stopped and replayed it, and I just deleted it because I was like, I don't know what that is, and I don't want that in there, and I don't want to know that I know that. But there was a specific scene where you were talking, and then I started to talk, and like there was somebody talking over me, and I was looking, and like there was nobody talking in game, like it, and you weren't. It wasn't your voice. It was some other person's voice, and it was enough to where I was like, wait, what? How did? Like, what the fuck was that? Um, I think I might, if I still have that footage, I'm gonna see if I can find it in there. It was only 7 minutes of footage, so I might be able to find it. But it was enough to where I was like, wait, who the fuck was that? Who was talking? Like it was just some like a really quick like, hey, how you doing? But it wasn't me, and it wasn't you, and it wasn't anybody in the game, and it was like it sounded like they were speaking into my fucking microphone.
Hell yeah, dude, we got a ghost.
Bro, like I genuinely was like, was there somebody?
Creation.
Bro, no, my dumbass was like, was there somebody in my apartment whenever I was recording this? Like dude, I was like, it shook me for a minute. I was really confused about that. Anyway, off topic.
It
Um,
might have been somebody in game, you just didn't realize it.
I was looking, and it like they're like no, like you know how, like whenever they talk in game, like you'll see like their name pop up or whatever. Nothing.
Eh. Oh well, maybe one of us is haunted.
It's probably me.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
I mean, my house, the guy that lived in it was a murderer. That's no joke. Uh, the person that used to live in the house that I live in right now, killed somebody. He was an identity thief. And somewhere in this yard, there's money. Yeah, I haven't looked for it. I don't have a fucking backhoe. And I'm too scared to drive anything down this hill. This hill's too steep. I'll flip it and I'll die. Nah, I'll pass. And I'm not getting a shovel. Seems like too much work. I'll be alright. Probably not even enough.
Well, just to go ahead and because I already know fucking hockey's gonna say some shit. I will be coming back to streaming. Uh, like we've mentioned, there's just been a lot of shit that's been going on, and my focus has been in a lot of different areas. But I want, like, I genuinely, like, I've had the itch to stream, like, heavily. I really want to. It's just one of those things where it's like every time it's like I want to stream, I realize there's so many things I have to do. Because I still have, like, 9 YouTube videos I have to fucking edit. Like, it's like I want to get all of that shit done and then stream and then start fresh, you know. So I will be getting back to streaming.
I just hope some people realize that we have lives. We have to do other things besides just record. Like we can't just sit and just stream and record every single day. If we could, honestly, I believe we would be able to do that. I believe we would do that.
I'd love to. I would love to be like dude, if I could get paid what I get paid now to stream and do YouTube and shit, I'd quit and I would totally do that.
I mean, I think anybody would.
But I get paid way too much money to not focus on my job and focus more on this. I get paid way too much.
Like I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll be honest about the whole recording and streaming stuff. That shit is just so draining. I don't know about you, but it drains me. It kills me. I know it's just, oh, you're sitting down and playing a game and talking. That's not a lot. Why are you bitching? Cause I gotta talk, and that's a lot to do, especially when you're trying to fill in like gaps and make sure that there's no dead air. It is hard. Like, being a YouTuber sounds fun. Oh yeah, it does sound fun until like you realize there has to be a grinding process.
Oh, it's genuine. It is a grind. It's 100% a grind, and there's a
Oh yeah,
lot that goes into it, bro. Like just editing that video that we reacted to today, like that took me a solid like hour and a half of just sitting here focusing on. And it wasn't even like when I look at it, it's still like there's so many other things that I wish I could have added into it, but I just don't know how to do yet. And like if I wanted to do it, I could easily sit here and like look it up, figure it out, do it that way. But that would go from an hour and a half of editing to like an additional 2 hours of like an additional hour of research, and then an additional hour and a half of like putting it in there, it not looking good, redoing it, fucking up some other shit, so then I have to do it again. Like it's just there's so much that goes into it.
I wish we would have started this stuff earlier though, like way earlier, like way before I even moved up here.
Well, I mean, part of the reason why I'm able to do it now at like this level is because of like genuinely because of how much I make. I wasn't making fuck all back home, and now
Yeah,
I'm
but I
actually
mean,
making enough money to where I can afford like using like high end, editing software. And
it's just like when I think about it, it's just the stuff that we did back in like uh, home. We, oh my god, we would have so much good content, and we would be able to post so much. We'd probably have a lot of subscribers if we did all the stuff that we did back at home on YouTube instead of just this. Cause I'm not gonna lie, it was so much better and it was so much easier, and everything we did was a whole lot more fun and funnier, and everything was more great compared to what we do now. Like, streaming is fun, playing games with you is fun, doing a podcast is fun. We've been thinking about doing a podcast for years. We've been doing it for years.
oh yeah, no, like we I mean genuinely the amount of conversations that we have, they're basically podcasts like over and over and over. It's just we never recorded it. Like we could have had a podcast for a while.
Yeah, back at Chatteroy,
Yeah, yeah.
we
Which
definitely could have done that.
which for those of you that want to know what Chatteroy is, do me a favor, tune in for the next one, because we're gonna go in and actually talk about our past. Not just like where we've been. We're gonna like do a complete full deep dive on where we came from and what led us up to this point to where we're basically talking to you now.
Sorry.
All right. Thanks for watching. Be sure you hit like and subscribe, or you're gay.
Yep. La 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 da 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 da. Pretty good ass outro, man.